You know, they're some of the cutest things in the world. They're highly intelligent by all accounts. And, you know, if you believe the stories, the only sea creatures that will regularly risk their own lives to save swimmers, divers, and others at peril in the seven seas. But it seems that human beings are not returning the favor. According to the 4C Institute of Marine Sciences, some 6 million dolphins have been killed in the past 3 decades purely as byproducts of tuna fishing. That's right, for star-kissed, for tuna, for eating. Fishermen follow dolphin pods to locate tuna since the two like to stick together. Rising noise pollution in the seas is also affecting their birth rates as well. They have very, very highly developed sonar capabilities. In addition, rough estimates are that over 40,000 dolphins are killed by Japanese fishermen each year for food and exports. Well, the man who trained dolphins for the TV series Flipper, do you remember Flipper? Yeah, sure. Lawrence and I grew up with Flipper in America, and he's on a mission to stop that in Japan. Rick O'Barry says that fishermen in the town in the south called Taiji are killing dolphins despite vows to stop. He aims to put an end to the slaughter with a movie called The Cove. Mike, I've been checking the papers. It has not arrived here, but it landed in Hong Kong. You went along to see the movie and hear from O'Barry, you know, very, very incendiary stuff, especially with a constituency like the fishermen in Taiji. What was the reception?
Well, none of the Taiji fishermen were there, but he did come under fire after the movie from one professor who wants his comments taken out of the movie. He says he didn't know what kind of documentary was being made. He says he was taken out of context. Some of the reporters at the news conference also questioning whether O'Barry has changed his argument after he came back to Japan, because his main point in the news conference was that eating dolphin meat can poison you. It's full of mercury. It's the same problem that they had with Minamata disease back in the 1950s, that, you know, pregnant women who have it eat meat containing mercury can have fetuses with, you know, problems. Now, the film is far more emotive. It's more about harming dolphins because dolphins are sentient beings. I should warn viewers, you will find some of the scenes that I'm about to show you quite disturbing.
They said if the world finds out what goes on here, we'll be shut down.
And that's exactly what the makers of the Cove want to do. Using hidden cameras and microphones, they recorded the annual capture and slaughter of dolphins at a hidden cove in southern Japan. Killing dolphins is not illegal in Japan, but the filmmakers say the fishermen are blocking off national parkland to hide from view. Dolphin rights activist Rick O'Barry and the film crew clashed with the fishermen of Taiji and local police who tried to stop them entering the area where dolphins are killed.
You don't enter, and the place permitted to enter. No. Absolutely. Yeah. Don't enter.
Cruelty to animals is the usual argument against slaughtering intelligent mammals such as dolphins. While the film highlights that, it also raises the issue of food safety. At a press conference in Tokyo, O'Barry warned that mercury levels make dolphin meat dangerous.
It's not about food culture issues anymore. It used to be. It's not about cruelty issues. It's about contaminating Japanese people.
These animals are swimming toxic dump sites.
They started giving the meat away to the school system.
2 local councillors managed to stop dolphin meat from being served in local school meals. O'Barry presented an award to one in Tokyo, saying Junichiro Yamashita is the movie's real hero. Taiji's fishermen say they're no longer killing dolphins. O'Barry disagrees.
They've just killed 40 pilot whales yesterday and 50 the week before that. Pilot whales are dolphins. They're large dolphins, excuse me, and they actually contain the highest levels of mercury that I've tested.
There isn't only controversy about the film's topic, but also its methods. Professor Tetsuya Endo is asking for his comments to be removed from the movie. He says the film distorts the views of the few Japanese people interviewed.
It's making fools of Japanese people, mixing up the dolphin problem with the mercury issue. We need to separate the two.
Rick O'Barry admits he is on a personal mission to save dolphins. He spent 10 years capturing and training them for the 1960s TV series Flipper and for the Miami Seaquarium. Since then, he's dedicated his life to try to free captured dolphins and prevent the slaughter of wild ones.
in Japan. It will be shown at the Tokyo International Film Festival on October 21st. Interestingly, there's a green theme to the film festival, and there's a special green section sponsored by Toyota, and the Cove is not in that section. I don't think that Toyota really wanted their name connected to this in any way, which is understandable, Bernie.
And how did you, let me ask you, because you spent a lot of time on this project, and we appreciate that, of course, from the whole team at Asia Confidential, and you even gave up a Friday night to do it. Did you go in with preconceived notions? Did you come out with a changed mind at all? Were you convinced at all by, you know, what Rick told you and the comments that he was making? I mean, there seems to be more than one motive, or more than one motive involved here.
Well, as I said, that was one of the points that was raised by many of the reporters at the news conference, that the movie is mainly about the fact that O'Barry loves dolphins. You know, he was a dolphin trainer for 10 years. One of the dolphins in Flipper, Susie, he said, died in his arms, and that's why he decided to become an activist and free dolphins. And so, if that's the message, why then, some people were asking at the news conference, did he say it's not about cruelty, it's about mercury poisoning? It seems like that was for a Japanese audience, that maybe people here would say, oh, well, if it's about poisoning, we won't eat them.
Okay.
So that was a little bit blurred. There were a couple of other things that stuck out for me. I thought it was an amazing documentary in as much as they got into this place. They actually brought in thermal imaging cameras, which you can't export from the States. They had a huge team. They got into this place, even though the police and the fishermen knew they were there and were trying to stop them, and they filmed this. And that was strong enough. But then there were comments in the film. There's a saying in Japan that the nail that sticks out must be hammered down. And Japan's opposition to dolphin slaughter is an extension of its imperialism. It doesn't like to be told what to do. I thought that those were cheap shots, that kind of smacked of a little bit of racism that didn't need to be in there. We didn't need to have Team America saving Flipper against the Japanese. But that's my personal view, not my view as a reporter.
No, well, it's one and the same in this case, because you were there from beginning to end, and we do appreciate that very much. And just final thoughts, just on our final few seconds of the show, seeing something like that, we're doing ourselves.
I'm very moved by what O'Barry's doing. I mean, really, they're trying to mix up the two issues, but it seems to me he's doing two things. First of all, he's trying to make us aware that we need to save species like dolphins. We need to actually care about our environment. Otherwise, we're going to wipe out our own world. Second, he also wants to save children. Why should we be giving children cheap sources of food to go to school? So I think, actually, you know, we need to have more activists like this, because if we don't do something about the environment, we won't have a planet to live on.
Amen. Lawrence, thanks for your time today. And thanks to Rick O'Barry, Mike, and everybody else. This has been Asia Confidential.